Welcome back, everyone, to today's coverage of the Mumbai Falcons ISRL in association with Volkswagen Motorsport India. I'm Justin Prince alongside my director and Samra for what has been some entertaining action so far. For those tuning in, getting ready for the second race out of two for round number 2 of season number 3. Now, one of the discussion points is brought about by many different people, of course, with the new title sponsor, the Mumbai Falcons, coming aboard, is the expansion of the prize pool. Now features the rupees being added to the prize pool as well. 15,000 rupees is now being given along with that one-day testing, as talked about at the top of the start of the season, with that Volkswagen Motorsport Race Spec Championship car and training from 8-time national champion in karting and Formula Racing in Raymond in Banerjee. Of course, the runner-up position, 2-day training for Horseshoe karting for Team Rail Racing, and one race sponsored by in the Indo Karting Clash. The carts now includes 10,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees to the second runner-up, along with a sponsored race in the Indy Karting Clash of Karts. 4th and 5th, though, will now also receive 2,000 rupees and 1,000 rupees, respectively, in the championship. That's going to come into play depending on how things shake out in races such as this. Because now the second race, once more, see an invert of the field. No qualifying in the second race in this season. So drivers have very much importance of trying to keep their cars clean after what was a throwing battle for the race lead, nearly side by side the entire first race of this round. At the top of the board in practice right now is Abdul Fattah. Second position involves this machine. Ankit Tiaji, currently with a 144.838. That is 5/10 off of the time of Fattah with a 144.382. Then Lama is in third position. Rakib in fourth. Sabarwell rounds out the top 5 in practice so far. Drivers have a couple more seconds before they make their way to the starting grid for race number 2. From the 2007 edition of the Daytona International Speedway's road course. Fasten your seatbelts. We're about to have a wild race to see who can come up on top. And a good chance for redemption for drivers such as Fattah after first lap incidents. We'll see how race 2 fares here. Now, the difference between race 1 and 2, safety car is deployed and will be a rolling start for these drivers here at Daytona. The invert shakes things up with the top 12 drivers being shuffled from the back part / mid portion of the running order to the front of the field. The driver now in control of said field now will be Swarajay Yadel, with the dual Rakib in the second position. Rounding up the top 3 starting positions, Kajak Mohanradra. In fourth position, we'll see Oshan, I should rather say, Kotandia. Rounding up the top 5 will be Abdul Kadib. Then rounding out in 6th, Karen Kazik. In 7th position today, it will be featuring the number 29 machine in Divyan Dudian. 8th position, we'll see Abdul Azim. Abdul Hadi starts in 9th. Raymond Sumwell rounds out the top 10. In the 12th position, that's where you'll see the last race winner, Emmett QT. We also have Sai Prithvi starting in the 11th position. Najib Alamed starts in 13th, Root in 14th, Hegdamish Yadri in 15th, Abdul Fattah in 16th, Grover in 17th, rounding up the top 18 is Cook Day, Gupta in 19th, Singh in 20th, 21st position, Tiaji, then Lama in 22nd, after being one of the quickest cars in practice both sessions. So once again, 20 minutes is the distance. Estimated 11 to 12 laps as we've seen with the first race of this round. The interesting point will be the extra lap behind the safety car will allow the drivers the opportunity to heat up their tires before they zip their way into the corner. One driver did miss the start, should note. That's the third place starter who will have to begin from the pit lane. That is Kajak Mohandraja, who did not make it to the grid in the 1. Grover, as well as Sunil Cookday, all did not make it to today's starting grid for the second race. They will all have to begin from the pit lane. Track conditions for race number 2 also different. Instant time, 8:29 a.m. 81 degrees Fahrenheit, the track temp, 78 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Windy just a little bit to the north at 2 miles an hour, 54% the humidity for today's event. Remember, fast repairs are available to drivers if needed. Incident limits are popping up if drivers reach 17 incident points. They will have to serve a drive-through. About a minute or so before these drivers reach the green flag from Marty the Flagman. And remember, in race 1 at Okayama, it was an exciting back and forth among some of the cars. In the first couple laps, some of the drivers who were in the top 2, that was Prithvi and Kuti, made their way inside the top 5 in half a lap. See if these drivers such as Yadel can hold on to track position. Their pace was in the same ballpark, mind you, as the top 2, only about a couple tenths a lap off. One of the main factors of this track, if you can keep in the slipstream down the super speedway portions, you might be in decent shape. The tricky part, of course, is areas such as the bus stop, where the technical portions and the skill on the road courses pops in. So overall, 22 drivers in the second race of round number 2 of Season 3. Again, Yadri, amongst many of the drivers watching along, Yadel, with a man in control of the field in the 26. Came away with a 12th place finish in the last race. All of the driver on his outside made his way on recovery. 16. Rakib to P11. Safety car about to duck its way down the pit road. Fasten your seatbelts. We're about to go racing once more from Daytona International Speedway. Marty the Flagman waves the green flag. We're back to racing. Already side by side for the race lead. It's Kadib, setting it hard on the outside in turn 1. Yadel holds on to the preferred line, though, sticks in the race lead, going to the International Horseshoe this time. First half of the field made it through quickly and cleanly. 18th on back was checked up. Major spin in the middle of the field. 2 cars spinning around. Third also around. Azim spun around. The 46 with a broken suspension. Summerwell done for the race as well, having to take the fast repair. Yadel still holds on to the lead. Kadib still in second spot. Third position currently features the 41. Bouncing and bumping, Rakib gets spun around in the top 5. Kuti moves his way quickly into 5th position. Make it 6th because of the mistakes already. But V trying to make his way around route. This is for 6th, 7th position. Decent margin already ahead of the 3 race in a row winner. You can see the gap already, 1.1 seconds at the moment for Yadel. Kadib currently in the 2nd position. Still inside the draft, though. He's one of the drivers who had a wild second race in round number 1. Kuti still trying to get the slipstream to get himself to the head of the lead pack. Trying to poke his way on the outside. Dunia trying to play defense, pokes his way back onto the outside, gives him the space, lets the 5 go, trouble in front of him. Able to just miss the incident, contact behind. Prithvi did break the suspension, he's off the circuit. The 57 out of contention. A disastrous start of the campaign for the Season 2 champion. He's now in the pit lane having to use a fast repair with a broken right front tire. Yadel still holding on to the race lead. Gap is shrunk by about a tenth in this sector. Still a good 17 minutes to go. To recap, once again, second position features Kadib. Third position right now is Kosick. Behind them is Kuti, who's now in the fourth spot. Still trying to catch up to the slipstream of the 24. Hadi in fifth spot. Root and Yaduri round out top 7. Drafting Train is currently being featured in 5th through 7th, with all the drivers covered by about a second apiece. Behind that, Awamed, who has had a heck of a round in 8th position. In 9th position, one of the drivers who had missed the starting grid, mind you, has gained that many positions for some of the bad luck of others. Mohendraja was up to 9th, and Grover, who also started in the pit lanes, in 10th. What an interesting one so far, to say the least. Under 10 estimated laps to go this upcoming time by. Fastest lap set so far by Kadib with a 1:45.5. Gap is now about 7 to 6/10 of a second, give or take. Kosick currently 3 seconds behind the leader. Kuti still within 6/10 of the next position within the draft of third. You see him in the backdrop. The 88 trying to have a good run today. Remember, in the first round, podium in the first race. Second race, that's a lot of ups and downs, but came away with P6. The driver in front of him finished 4th in the sprint race format. In our words, Udell is one of those drivers, if you give him track position, he's able to keep it. The invert, he started in the 8th position last week. Meanwhile, Kuti did make his way past Kosick for the 3rd position and has already ran away by nearly a full second. He was 2/10 quicker last time by than the 24. See if Kosick can keep himself in 4th, or if Hadi can close up and quickly, as we've seen Slipstream has been hitting fast and heavy. That time by, Kosick lost nearly 2 seconds. Still, 2 of the fastest cars on the track, these two. Kadib a 1:45.4, Goodell a 1:45.2, another fastest lap of the race. One of the things with the colder track temps compared to the last time, more grip than these drivers had before. Meaning there's going to be higher speeds, more confidence potentially in the braking zones, and we're seeing that for some of these competitors. Here's a look at Cook Day, meanwhile. Remember, he also started from the pit lane. He hasn't recovered as many positions like his fellow counterparts in 13th. Lamos are in 14th, for example. At the moment, 15 drivers or so are in about 1 minute and 10 seconds of separation of the front of the field. Everybody else, 1:39 seconds on back. Lead draft still within range, still. It's growing though for Yadell. Yadell putting on a good run so far. Clipped the grass that time, however. Going to the bus stop. Then slow him down, gain 3/10 in fact. Meanwhile, Lama locking up the tires. This is a battle for 14th. This is where Kotadia cycled on through. He's trying to gain back one more position here. Checks back up, trying to diamond the corner once more in turn 5. No is here. Lama pulls on and away. Lama had a very rough season debut to start the campaign. Got lapped a few times at Okayama. Much better run today at Daytona. Hadi, meanwhile, he's making a run now for that 4th position. Kozik locks up the right front tire. And Kozik currently losing 1.2 seconds per lap to the car in front. Car behind gained a 10th last time by. Let's see just what some of the lines. Able to get good corner exit, but Hadi is sending it a little bit more deeper on corner entry compared to his counterpart in front. Both of them also taking note of that bump that's right at that orange box. The battle also going on behind them. You've seen just moments ago and see now Root and Yadri still also taking shape. These drivers just outside slipstream range of the other battle going on. That battle for fourth position getting aggressive up the road in the bus stop. Hadid diving his way to the inside. Able to make it stick. Kozik lets him have the spot. One of the toughest places to get a pass done. It is a passing zone, but it is a brave one, because multiple drivers in the second portion of that quadruple apex, so to speak, bus stop have hit the rumble strips before and snapped around. Side by side in two different groupings. Sixth position sees Yadri trying to draft his way around Root. 151 for Root, 152 for Yadri. Side by side, two positions deep. Yadri sends it deep into the corner. This time makes wheel contact. Keeps it off the grass. He'll keep going, no damage. The battle in front also had Hadi hold on for the time being. They were in a similar formation just up the road. Speaking of up the road, guess who's closed in on the race leaders? Kuti is now right on the back wheels and back spoiler of the top two. Kuti set the fastest lap by anyone in the race, a 1:44.2 last time by. That was a second quicker than the top two. Coming to an estimated 6 laps to go, halfway up on the clock. Kadif give him the space. We've seen it before with one of their position battles. In the bus stop, yes. Knows the pace difference, gives him the spot. So Kadif trying to take as many points as he can, now following behind Kuti. Still in the lead though, Yadel with an impressive run, up by a second. Behind him, Kadib wants his second place back. They're side by side into turn one. Tried one last gasp at that position with the draft, but this is where the skills of Kuti start to pop up. The infield section, the technical part of the track. If you don't have speed in this section, it's hard to build up the speed for the drafting sections of the track. You see it right there on just on the edge of the horseshoe alone. Dell still up in front by 0.4 of a second. Now it's going to be the curious point. With it being for the race lead and a potential win, what will the 26 do? Remember, Kuti had preferred to be the defensive car in the draft when he was the leader. Will Yadel follow that same strategy, coming to a 5 estimated lap to go mark this time? Approaching 8 minutes on the clock. Lap car ahead. It hits the leader. Contact with the second place. Unreal. Kadib demolished. Yadel demolished. Yadri spins around. That was Lama. The 9 car had been slow at the top of the racetrack with a broken left front suspension. It was struggling to turn the race car. Nowhere to go in the side-by-side for the race lead entering the bus stop. Kadib making his way to the pit lane with our left front tire, also having a duck down as Yadel big-time moment of this race. Yadri now holding on to a 4th place position, dives his way to the inside. He nearly lost it in all that carnage in the bus stop. Root now in the 5th spot. Kuti now in the lead. Hadi is in 2nd. After all the craziness, 6.5 seconds behind. Check that 6.6. Taking a look at the battle again with Yadri still on your screen. Gap is 10 seconds. This would be one of Yadri's best finishes of the season. Root, though, seen a massive defensive lineup at the front. Yadri struggling in the bus stop, hits the grass again. Nearly the same mistake he had the last time by. Able to stick it this time, though. Kosik still in front of this group. Root now with a good head of steam coming out of the section. See if Yadri holds on to the yellow line. Yes, he does along the apron. Root hits the rev limiter at 155. 247 kilometers an hour to be precise. Yadri still holds on to the defensive line, yes. Holds on to the spot for now, coming to an estimated 3 to go this time by. And remember, they are catching up to make it a 3-car fight. The 24 of Kosik now has to keep an eye on what's going on behind his rear wing. All these drivers ran in the 146 flats last time by, bouncing around the corner is the 24. Kosik nearly snapped it. Yadri nearly snapped on the second part of the apex. All the cars using the banking this time in turn 1, back to the apron, no dip. Kosik defensive line, trying to hold on to a podium position. Side by side in the bus stop. Yadri backs off, regroups once more for the tri-oval section of the circuit. Behind all this, by the way, is an air position battle starting to form up. This is 8th and 9th. Rakib and Grover. Other cars are also behind them who our lap traffic should know. And Fatah, who is not for position. Rakib with a good head of steam in this grouping right now. Grover again had to start from the pit lane after missing the starting grid. Back and forth, trying to break the slipstream is Grover. Rakib takes a look to the outside line, heading into turn 1 again. Not able to get a close enough look quite yet. By the way, Kosik was shuffled out as we were looking at that. Back to 5th position in 1 corner. Talked about the effect of the slipstream. Yadri was able to use the banking to make the pass out of NASCAR 4 for the 3rd position. Then Root for the 4th position was able to take advantage of a mistake by the 24 and make the pass. Now Kosik back to 5th. Still 3 seconds behind to the next position. Solid chance as long as he can keep the car on top of things. Keep the car on the circuit, he may be able to come away with the top 5. Of note, 3 of the top 4 cars have all gained double-digit positions after the invert for this second race. Kuti, Yadri, Root. Rakib, meanwhile, still shuffles around for that 8th position. Still trying to find a way around Grover. Both cars right on the rev limiter once more. Bad line to the bus stop for Rakib, though. Taking a look at your race leader. Coming to the white flag, estimated this upcoming time by. And trouble in the battle for 5th. Root has spun out. That has moved Kozik and Alamed along with Azim, Grover, and Rakim right by him. Came from contact with a 24. Wheel-to-wheel contact with Kozik set around Root. Now the 10 deep in the field in the running order after that contact. Now it is Alamed and Azim now looking to fight for the top 5. Spin behind them, Azim loses control in turn 6. The 35 has spun around. Grover and Rakib now are for 6th and 7th in their fight. And now Azim is falling back to a Root spun out to. Meanwhile, Kozik's in his own little bubble in 4th. What a sequence of events for the mid-pack in the top 10. 3-car battle now shaping up amongst these drivers. Azim, the head driver, Root, and then you have lap traffic behind. That is also a potential factor. White flag this time by. Final lap from Daytona. Big opportunity this time for Alamed. Kozik losing a lot of time, has front wing damage, hits the rev limiter 5 miles an hour slower. Slicky standing still. Alamed tries to go on the outside. Can't make it stick, nearly locked up the right front tire. As this is going on, Kuti leading by 10 seconds, 2 seconds a lap quicker than Hadi in second spot. We'll keep an eye on this battle though for 4th position. Fight is not over yet. Rakib has had trouble. Yadri has also had trouble in the 10th position. The whole pylon will be shuffling potentially in this final lap. Alamed trying to use the banking as a ramp. Picks up the pace once more in the fight. One more shot on the bus stop for the 4th position. Alamed once again drives on by, makes the move before they even get to the bus stop. Out of the final corner though, Kuti coming out to the home stretch. He'll get a full sweep in the first 2 rounds. He's the winner. He wins race 2 at Daytona. Second spot goes to Hadi from 9th spot on the starting grid. And what a drive from Yadri outside the inversion spots in 15th to 3rd. Rounds out the podium. 4th for drag race. Alamed though holds on, able to beat Kozik to the stripe. 7th spot Azim, Rout in 8th, Grover in 9th. Kadib rounds out the top 10 finishing positions. 11th position goes to Karzak Mohandraja. 12th spot continues to also be shuffled upon. Check that on that position. Cook Day now officially scored at 11th. With the 41 being shuffled now down the running order to about 12th. Recovery sees Prithvi to 13th position in the final standing. Summerwell in 14th. Check that. That is Yadel in 11th position. Apologies there. Cook Day in 15th. Rakib in the pit lane in 16th. Gupta, Lama, Fatah rounds out the top 19 positions. Madudia in 20th. Justin Singh in 21st. And Ankit Tiaji, I should say. Rounding out the 22 cars, he did not make it to the starting grid for this second round, second race. Crazy sequence of events in this one. But is Kuti who has a full sweep of the first 2 rounds of the campaign. We'll see how things shape out, though, in the final 3 rounds of the season, and what has been a wild beginning of season number 3. The next race on the campaign goes to a familiar one. Just about a week ago, it was at WeatherTech Raceway with Laguna Seca, where there was the battle for the championship between 2 familiar foes, Kuti and Prithvi. Those drivers and more will return back to the circuit on May the 12th and 13th. They'll be having mock races on the 12th. The official race will take place on May the 13th. Be sure to tune in. Green flag for qualifying waves at 9:10 p.m. local time. With that, it's time to say goodbye. For my producer today in Sunra, I'm Justin Prince. Thank you for tuning in for the Mumbai Falcons ISRL in association with Volkswagen Motorsport India. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you for round number 3 in California.